Everyone, welcome back to 5 Day Crypto. My name is Chase. Today we're going to look at Harmony One to kick it off. Happy Thursday. We're going to start on the weekly channel for Harmony One. We're going to look at where support levels are, resistance levels are, a couple different charts, indicators, all that good stuff. So if you like the video today, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Twitter, Telegram. We have a free Telegram, over 600 members, growing strong and fast, trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. Going to be hard pressed to do that one, but maybe you can help. So that's a free one. Check it out there. If I'm not making stuff on YouTube, sometimes I'll post tips and tricks on there, little charts, snippets, all that good stuff. 100% free. If you want more help than that, navigating the markets, ins and outs, more charts, more advice, helpful hints, that's what Patreon's for. You get a link to a private Telegram chat, about 45 members in there now. So we're going strong in there as well. So check it out, and we'll see you there. Harmony One on the weekly chart to kick it off. After our drop all the way down to 13 cents, after our amazing rally going from July all the way up to almost 40 cents, we had a pretty catastrophic drop, 64%, roughly over 60% drop from our all-time high. That's a pretty good discount on a project as important as Harmony One. So let's look at the weekly chart, zooming in, and see what we got going on. Well, what's the good news? We're battling to get back above the 21-week EMA, which, as you know, should be very important in a bull market. Is a very important line. To get your price action real bullish again and get your back to all-time highs, you must get above and stay above and close above. Use as support the 21-week EMA on any given coin, even crypto. The total crypto market cap for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, your favorite coins need to hold the 21-week as support and lift away from it in order to remain the most bullish. So that's what we're doing with Harmony One right now. All we have to do to close that is stay above roughly 20 to 21 cents. It'll change slightly over the next 3 days and 10 hours when we close that weekly candle. So watch that. If we do that, that's a step in the right direction. But I like to have two confirmations to do that. You can have fake outs every now and again back to the upside. See this? You got to get above it and then stay above it and pull away from it, and then you can get going. But you want to be careful crypto wide right now with fake rallies or just a relief rally. You don't know yet. You want to watch for Bitcoin to kind of lead the way, get back above its 21-week, which is around 52, 53K. Once we do that, then alts can rise in a very bigly way. But until Bitcoin is back above its 21-week EMA, altcoins are kind of cautiously optimistic is the word of the day. So kind of one is kind of leading some of the alts right now, over 10% rally so far. So let's go on to the daily chart and see what we got going on there. Coincidence that we're holding resistance on the 21-day EMA? So this is that same line, but it's on a daily chart. So it's a 21-day EMA instead of the 21-week EMA. So they will change based on what chart you're looking at. So again, what do we want to do? We want to get it back above this and hold it as support. Then you can make your bigger moves. You want it to act like a trampoline when you're on the top side, not below, right? You don't want to come into it and face resistance and then get thrown back down the other way. So what's our support level if we do come back down? I'm glad you asked. It's right here. This closing candle right here is our lowest closing candle locally. And that closed at 16.5 cents right here. So until we close under that, we're still okay. I would look for support there. If we close there, that's a new lower closing candle, and the odds just increase, because that's all you have in crypto is the odds. The odds simply increase of you making, more downwards price action. If we go under this, where's our next level that we want to be watching for? This wick that we made right here, the low of 13.5 cents. If we come below that, then we're spelling more trouble. But I would anticipate if Harmony One is breaking this, then crypto is market-wide in trouble. But I don't anticipate that happening. Like I said, we're already down to almost over 60% in Harmony One. That is usually about what you get. Yeah, 50 to 60, 70% maybe on these bigger pullbacks like we're getting. And then, just some sideways, because if you're taking a cut that deep, it takes some time to heal your wounds, right? Psychologically, mentally, market-wide, it doesn't usually just recover instantly like that. If you have a, like a pandemic era drop, the March drop, that recovered so quickly because it's kind of a black swan event. And then, the market shakes it off and you're out of there before you know it. But stuff like this, these slow bleeds over days and weeks at a time, takes some time psychologically to recover. So even with rallies like this, you want to continue to look for your support if you come back down, and be mindful on both directions and not be only up mentality or only down mentality. You don't want to be macro bear or macro bull. You got to always look at both sides. So let's go see what else we got on Harmony One. The 5-day Gaussian channel. So this is very important for any of your coins. This works on everything. So if you're new, this might be a new indicator for you, and you should use it. And you can go look at it on Bitcoin or Ethereum, market wide. These will help you become a better trader. Anytime you're red and go back to green, you wait for your price action to get on top. And I've talked about this time and time again. You can go look at a bunch of my other videos, but you want to wait till you're green and you're moving up and away, and then you make your position and you make your buy, and then you're good to go. Okay, so enough of the lessons. Let's just look at where Harmony One is. We're away from the 5-day Gaussian channel. We barely came into it. We didn't like what we saw. It's the toxic zombie channel. The longer you stay in here, the more zombie-like your coin's going to act. And, we stayed in it a little bit too long last time, but still better than most. A lot of coins are still well into this channel. So if your coin is above the 5-day Gaussian channel right now, and I use the 5-day because it has the least amount of fake outs, it has the most useful information. The trend lines seem to hold more accurately than other daily time frames or weekly time frames. But if you want to use on the higher time frames, the weekly or the monthly, then go ahead and do that. I like the higher time frames better than the daily time frames. Can tell you where you are, like more bullish or bearish, right? If your coin's way down here, it's kind of temporary bearish price, and it's probably not going to do a whole lot. If your coin's way up here, it's more bullish, but on the daily, right? The 5-day is where the secret sauce is, and that's what you want to be looking for. And so far, Harmony One is in the upper echelon of a lot of coins. So there's only a handful of coins that are above its 5-day Gaussian channel right now, and those are the coins that should recover quicker and faster to the upside, make the first move, so to speak. And maybe you're seeing that right now because of that reason. So it's up roughly 10%. We'll see where we close, but taking a step away from the Gaussian channel back to the upside is what we want to watch for on any coin. Harmony One doing a great job so far on that. Let's stay away. That top level support right now is around 15.5 cents, just shy of 16, and this will start to continue moving up over these candle closes. And this candle closes actually today, so end of close today. These are 5-day candles. Okay, so the new one will start. Hopefully we're up here, and hopefully we continue to pull away and not revisit this. So next candle opening, the top you can see is probably going to be over 16 cents. So watch that. If we come back down, you just want to hold support. Look at what we did back in June, right? Before actually entering it, we would like to, if we come back down, hold it as support and then move back away from it. Okay, you don't want to spend any amount of time in the 5-day Gaussian channel. All right, next chart, the ADX and the I for Harmony One on the daily kind of gives you a head start to where prices could move. Are we going to have a more of a macro bullish uptrend or not? Well, until you have a bullish cross, and what is that? That would be the green on top, like we got back in September, October out of our Harmony. You probably remember those price movements. Well, look at our cross, right? It happened late September, and then your ADX is in this orange line. You want that to, that's kind of the power of said move. So the DI positive is the green, the DI negative is the red. You can put those positive and negatives together for you, for yourself. I don't know where I'm going with that English, but what we want to watch for is a cross out of this, right? Let's draw this fairly and accurately. So ideally, this will be the scenario that you want to have happen, and we'll even color code them in case you can't follow along. This is the ideal scenario, and then you'll have your ADX will likely come down a little bit, right? Because it was following the red, so it'll likely reset a little bit, and you'd like to see it curve back this way as you get a green cross. This would be your ideal scenario. Now let's, okay, pretend this is orange too. There we go. I didn't do well in crayons. All right, so that would be your ideal scenario, right? The cross here, you want to wait for the cross, and those are kind of like your macro level buy signals, not financial advice. Nothing I give is financial advice. This is for your own entertainment and education, a little bit. But when you get a cross, and you see how this cross wasn't very crossy. When you don't get the crossy crosses, it's not a big deal. You want a cross with conviction like that. You see that how we move away in a rapid fashion? That's exactly what you want. Even bigger than this. Let's go back and look and see this. There you go. There's a nice move away from it. This would be ideal right here. Look at that. Almost straight up. The more vertical you can get, and the more less hesitant you can make that cross. This is too hesitant right here. So you want a cross with conviction. Hopefully that helps you. Then you can even look at it on the weekly chart, the daily chart as well, and get the bigger picture. I always like to remain the bigger picture, but look at this. Harmony One's basically almost entire history, going back to May of 2020, the bulls have always been in charge. So it's no wonder we have some massive rallies leading last year. Look at that. Starting late December last year, I bet the week of December 28th, if you go look at it, of 2020, I bet Harmony One was starting to do some massive action, and that's what we want again. So the bulls are still in charge on the bigger scale on the weekly picture. All we need now is the same thing. Let's get our markers back out here. Do something like that, right? The red can just do whatever the hell it wants down here. If we get the green sliming back up here, sliming back up, and then you want the ADX to follow with it, and then there you go. This would lead to all-time highs in a quick fashion. And look at the time frame here. We're going into kind of Q1 2022. Here's March already right here. So yeah, if we just get this a little bit, if you start seeing these diverge away from each other, this would be ideal in the bigger picture, and you could bet that Harmony One's getting ready to make its next move. So hopefully that helps somebody out there with knowing which crayons you want. Harmony One stochastic RSI for the weekly. This is why we're struggling a little bit up until today, right? Today, we're making a nice recovery so far. But on the weekly, we're still losing momentum. Stochastic RSI is your momentum. We're almost bottomed out here, right? We could spend some time down here, but I would prefer not to. And could we get just a bounce back out of here? Sure, we could. What would we want to look for? I'm glad you asked. The daily picture of the stochastic would want to be looking like it's going way up. What does the daily look like? Let's go take a look-see. Well, good news, right? This is what you want to see. The momentum is increased on the day-to-day. So let's keep this going. We'd like to get back in the shaded area. That's where you can really the pedal to the metal, right? On the highway driving, you're floored. That's up here. Right now, we're still accelerating. We want to keep accelerating and not hit a wall. Come back down. Okay. So watch that on the daily, and then you want to look for when the weekly candle updates this weekend, right? And a handful of days from now, we want to see a bounce here. Like we can get our Picasso drawings back out. I would like to see something like this, right? This red probably crossed something like that, and then you want to see this bounce like this. This would be ideal. You want them both to bounce and then back in the shaded area, and then the odds improve for continued long-term momentum to the upside. And I think that's it for Harmony One for today. We got the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. We're still in fear, 29. We look at this every day. If you're new, we do an update every day. So let's go back and look at our chart. What do we want to look for? A higher high. Well, did we get it? Yeah, slightly, 28. And now we're 29. You might say that's not very big, and I agree, right? You want more of a conviction, but I'll take what I can get at this point, right? As long as we're not making lower lows, we're good. So let's avoid making a lower low than 21, and let's start making a higher high. So 29 is a start. Or what's our next high? There's 29. How about this guy? That's our next target, 40. Let's make a 41 or higher. Then we can maybe start turning this fear and greed ship around and get back to some higher prices. Quote of the day. Been the quote of the week because this is the theme of the week. Patience. Stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Maybe you know him, Warren Buffett. Slightly successful. Listen, Patience will pay off. Time in the market beats timing the market pretty much every time. Car of the day. My favorite, I call it reality Ferrari, because a couple $100,000. Yeah, it's still expensive, but is it La Ferrari money, $3 million? No. So reality car. This is my favorite Ferrari. There's others I like better, but not in this lifetime. Am I going to be able to get it? I might be able to somehow get one of these someday. When you get to the supercars, a lot of people think I could never spend that much money, but you're not losing that much money as long as you got the car. You can make money on these. There's people that do full-time supercar flips, that house flipping. There's people that make millions of dollars a year supercar flipping or hypercar flipping. So once you get to this level, you can drive supercars for actually very cheap, and actually cheaper than regular cars, believe it or not. So yeah, maybe one of these at some point. I would love to get a Ferrari 458. They sound incredible. They sound better than any modern one after this. So they started making these in like 2010 up to like 2015, 2016. And they sound better than pretty much any Ferrari out now. So naturally aspirated V8 sound amazing. There was one of these at Cars and Coffee. I don't know if you have one of those where you're at. There's like a little mini car show they do once a month. And that was last weekend for me. And I went, and one of these guys had one, and he was revving. It sounds so good. It sounds better than they had the new 812 Superfast there. There was a 599 there. There was another Ferrari 488 there. They were all revving. This one sounds the best. And they were all stock, so there's not that the exhaust was doing it. There's the rear, and looking immaculate. I love the back of the engine as well. There's the side view. This is probably the spec I would get, something like this. I love black wheels. I love black, like dark windows, dark wheels, and then, bright yellow for a supercar. It's kind of my ideal. I love the yellow brake calipers. This would be my spec right here. So if you see one of these rolling by in a year or so on the channel, maybe I'll never meet you. Maybe I will meet you. Maybe I'll come to the party in this. We'll see. McLaren first. We're getting the McLaren 720S first. Then maybe Ferrari down the line. I'm rambling. What do you think? Ferrari 458? Yeah. My favorite. That spec right there. Yellow. Yellow on black. See you next time.